Hello there, Divine Feminine. So I've been sort of summoned by the ancestors to, I don't know, there's some kind of download that I've been receiving, and I think it's going to be for you guys. I did end up pulling this random pendant, and I associate this as messages from your ancestors, but I am very drawn to the color of purple. This isn't real amethyst. I'd be very surprised if it were. But either way, it's sort of this amethyst purple sort of energy. I don't know what to expect. So if you've been craving to hear something, craving to get a confirmation, I think this is going to be your message. If we haven't met yet, my name is High Priestess Berry, psychic medium and divine channeler, hoping to bring you a message. Now, always remember, my messages are candid, unscripted, but they're also timeless, so please tap into your instincts. Listen to your intuition. If there's anything that I talk about that doesn't make any sense, totally fine. Whoa, don't worry about it. This message may not be for you, but if it does resonate, please let me know by liking and sharing your experience in the comments below. I love it. We actually do have Mary Magdalene, Teacher Awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner calling. Don't let anybody stop you. So I'm picking up this Mary Magdalene, and I'm hearing the order of the blue rose, but this is also rose oil frequency. There's a lot of energies around you, Divine Feminine, that are giving you a chance to start elevating your frequency. A lot of you have been struggling with feeling as though you have been down in the dumps. Others of you have been trying to understand a little bit more about your creativity, your sexuality, how it is you connect to yourself versus how do you connect to another human being. I have been tuning into Mary's frequency quite a lot as of late, and hearing about her relationship to Yeshua, her relationship to Jesus Christ, and in a lot of ways having to overcome a lot of biases and prejudices that I've had. I feel like a lot is being cleared out of the way for you at this time. There seems to be a lot of messages around clearing out prejudice that I've been picking up as of late and walking away from our own sense of bias. So I'm gonna have her kind of hang out up here. I grabbed the moon oracle, the moon witches, and what is it that the Moon Witches want to say to the Divine Feminine at this time? Inspiration is drawn to motion. Given that this is the day Mars has gone into Leo, and a lot of you more than likely have felt as though you've been stuck, just trying to figure out where you need to go next. And I think a lot of you have been stuck in the comfort zone and feeling maybe even guilty that this zone has been that of comfort. What do we have? Yes. 13. Divine Feminine, step into your power. I feel like it's sort of like you guys have been watching and waiting, trying to figure out what the next move is going to be. And even with this snake energy right here, that is Kundalini activation. This is you tapping into your sacral energy and learning how to use it all for yourself. I think a lot of you guys have struggled with surrendering your energy, your power, your resources to an external masculine. It doesn't literally have to be a man. It doesn't have to be literally a twin flame counterpart, but you've had a bad habit of giving away your power to somebody else because Divine Feminine has been disempowered for a couple of eons at this point. And the more that people are getting accustomed to connecting with ancestors or trying to research more about, occultic religions, air quotes going all over the place, I feel like you guys are going to be encountering friends, strangers. Your soul tribe is going to start being magnetized towards you. And I think a few of you don't even know the level of magnetism and magnitude of what is set before you. But what do we have here? Keep moving forward. You got this. Crescent moon. Familiar. Listen and learn. Curiosity. What sparks your interest? There's something that you've already been doing. And I feel like this reading is just here to sort of gussy up your energy, kind of give you a chance to start thinking about what it is you can do to capitalize on your spiritual powers. Because I think some of you have been overthinking it, or it's more that you've been caught up in the ritual, but it's not necessarily practical in day-to-day application. It's so funny. Like for me personally, whenever I see the familiar, listen and learn, like I feel like I'm full of bullshit trying to channel this particular message. So I want to focus here just for a second. Where can I? Okay, this is all Oracle cards today. It seems that I'm drawn towards. I'm gonna grab the Twin Flame Ascension deck. What is it that they need to listen and learn? It's kind of like, can you get into a feral headspace? And I know a few of you do, especially those of you who have pets. And there's something about the reason why you've been connected to animal energy is because you have been disconnected from your body, and the animals around you have been teaching you to listen to your own energy versus listening to somebody else's. This is somebody that if you've been traumatized and never even realized the level of trauma in your body, your animal is also traumatized. But when you heal and your animal approaches you and you start feeling unsettling again, this is one of those moments where you realize the trauma that your animal actually has. This is no longer seeing things intellectually. This is feeling it in your body. Because divine feminine, again, you've been disconnected from your body. You've been disconnected from your own masculine energy. And it's very easy for us to get caught up with the, I jokingly call the flesh meat suit that is our divine counterpart. But that their behavior is sort of like an alternative reality of what your trauma is. And that can be challenging, especially for those of you who've been really, really hurt by a masculine energy in your life. And it's not just one, it's multiple masculines, all the way like, childhood, so this masculine could be a sibling, this could be classmates, this could be, teachers. Be very broad as to who it is that might have actually hurt you in the past. But we have the Holy Grail code. This is Mary Magdalene frequency. Being able to breathe the energy of life through the pelvic floor, using our breath to be able to raise our frequency from the root to the crown chakra. Like you're being asked to receive a gift, because rose oil is one of the highest vibrational frequencies we can get in the 3D. And there's something about going above and beyond. And your animals around you, your children, heck, even physical objects that you still have within your possession, they have this lower vibrational frequency. And it's not to say you have to get rid of them. It's to say you need to be aware, because it puts you into a new sense of responsibility. Because if you're healed and you notice that somebody else around you is traumatized, a past version of you would have freaked out, be like, get away from me, I can't deal with you right now, because both of you would be agitating each other. But there's something about your energy starting to smooth out, but you're going to start noticing how badly agitated other energies are around you. In the past, you might have run away. Your masculine energy would have activated, but there's an ask to be still. Be here in the present, anchor into your body, because changes are happening in your 3D reality and you need to be present for this. Surrender, Dark Night of the Soul, Queen, Divine Feminine. Holy shit. Like, we got 4 + 4 = 8. And even just seeing this 1-1, I really feel like quite a few of you have been stuck in the dark night of the soul, not sure where to move forward, feeling bad that maybe you had to move forward, or feeling as though you might have left someone behind. And when I say left someone behind, it's like you left behind a version of yourself and you thought it was another human being. There's some kind of survivor's guilt that I think you've been trying to work through. But there's a shift. You're learning how to reclaim your identity. You're learning how to reclaim yourself, and it's helping you enter into this queen energy. I've been picking up a lot of chess references. We got like, a chessboard going over here. That Netflix series, The Queen's Gambit. I never watched it, only because I had an ex who enjoyed playing chess, and I don't enjoy playing the game. Like, conceptually, I get it, but I don't enjoy playing board games. It's just it's a thing of mine. But I have even been learning a little bit more about methods on trying to repel and detach from demonic energy, dark energy, unwell spirits, things that lower our vibration. And one of the methods is to play a chess game. And really, the game is rigged. And that's the idea. You play chess with your demon and you play all the moves on their behalf. They have no control over the situation. Because, like, to yell checkmate means I win, motherfucker. And there's something about this choice. You can just choose to win. Like, you've had dark energies rig the game against you, and they made you feel bad that you weren't good enough, and you're being invited to turn the tables. You have control over this situation. You can decide, wait, I win. You lose, because dark energy has no power over you, and it only has power when you listen to it, when you obey it, when you give into it. And that's where we start going back down this old timeline. But you're being asked to play this game and rig the game against evil, not against people around you. You're a kind, caring, compassionate person. You know what it's like when people rig the game against you. But this isn't hypocrisy when you're working against dark forces. You've been going through a lot in the astral realm, and it's a battle that not many people would understand or appreciate, and you're actually being guided. Don't try to get attention on this battle. Don't try to get attention to prove you've been through a battle. This is more about recognizing that you've already overcome. You're done playing somebody else's dark game, and it's time for you to move forward. So I got the Ancestors deck because I did grab this Celtic knot right here. And for those of you who haven't joined me on Patreon quite yet, for the free members, I did channel like a beautiful message from the ancestors to the divine feminine, and I'm really encouraging you to go there and check it out. You can check it out. I attached it to the free Reiki meditation to help you connect to your higher self. It's also its own independent post, but I really do recommend checking out and joining us on Patreon, because I'm going to be encouraged to start adding more quiet messages off to the side. Because when you join, it means you're opting into a broader journey. It means that you're opting in to get certain types of messages. I would love to have you there. It's kind of these things, the more the merrier. Womp womp. God, hate my ancestors. They're so punny. Okay, I love them. What can I say? Seven of Swords, card of deception, along with the Lovers. Like, and this is a masculine to masculine deception. You've had people around you that, as long as you act and behave a particular certain way, it doesn't matter how you feel deep down inside. So this is why a lot of people have paired up in toxic relationships. It's sort of like, if I behave this way and you behave this way, then it's love. And this has been pure deception. And there's a difficult realization that I think a few of you will still need to come to terms with when it comes to your family, and maybe not immediately your parents, but I am detecting that there's a lot of realizations, secrets in the closet, dark realizations about how your genetic ancestors, I'm hearing like great grandparents, there's some kind of evil secret that is coming up to the surface. You may get this confirmation through signs and synchronicities. It may be something you've been noodling about in the back of your mind. And a few of you will actually be able to get full confirmation, whether if it's casual stories from family, doing your own historical research. But there is an awakening happening, and awakenings happen when there are epiphanies, realizations. There's some dark shit that from like the 1920s to the 1940s very specifically is coming up to the surface. That's why I'm getting the grandparent, great grandparent paradigm, but we got the card of the universe. There is a cycle that's coming to an end. A lot of you have had to learn how to cleanse your family line. And for those of you who aligned yourself to other masculines, they've actually had some dark secrets that they weren't even aware of. Like, whether if that is some kind of sexual shame, abuse, trafficking, dealing with criminal organizations, or being involved when it comes to kidnapping or Yeah, it's just I'm hearing criminal attachment with either your family or the masculines that you have associated with. This will be very prominent if you've been very drawn towards somebody's last name, somebody's family name. That can be one confirmation to work with. But we have the Hanged Man. This has been on hold. This has been on pause. Why? Ten of Swords. There's Ten of Swords, Page of Swords. We don't talk about this. Like, we're not going to talk about it. That's in the past. We need to leave the past in the past. The words make sense, but the energy has carried on generation after generation. Even though maybe, if there was like a family member that got caught up in a criminal organization over a century ago, they didn't like it, but they more than likely felt like they had no other choice than to they had no other choice than to deal with it because that was their only option. It was the only way to survive. It was the only way to help protect the family. So if you're drawn towards like, The Sopranos or Mobland or any kind of mafia-based stories, oh my God, there's some juicy information for those of you who are gravitated towards those stories. And again, this may be your family history or the family history of somebody that you've been heavily involved with or really, really hurt by. It's like it's the sins of the parent, but the parents didn't even know there was a sin in the first place. Let's get some cards here. We've got Ace of Pentacles, Five of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Wands, Star. I'm gonna get one more. Four of Pentacles. So yeah, think of it this way. You've had ancestors where, whether if they have been displaced, chances are they were trying to fight for their survival, fight for their land, fight for their religion, their ethnicity, their home, their country. Like there's some kind of loyalty that I'm picking up from your ancestors, and they needed to start from scratch. They needed to start from something brand new. We are all making it up as we go. And they've had to go through a series of unfortunate events and a lot of things within their reality. They've had to weave a narrative because they felt guilty, because they felt like they had no other choice. And they didn't talk about it, or they changed the story. And even if they had curious children or curious great-grandchildren, tell us the story of what it was like to be in World War II, Grandpa. Like some of those soldiers will still carry a lot of that trauma, up until when they die. But there's some kind of I keep hearing crime, and I'm sorry, like for someone in here, it's sort of like having to end somebody else's life all in the name of protecting the family. So like this secret is very deep. This is a secret that really, really cuts deep, and it's shielded you from wanting to check out your divine purpose. Because when you're divine feminine, you can reverse engineer your family problems. You can reverse engineer the intergenerational curses. But you've been prevented from seeing something due to shame. Maybe you weren't ready to see it. You probably had your own trauma as well, or because you were around masculines that you gave your power over to, they took your energy, they took your power, and in many ways they took your desire to even learn what happened within your own family. And in some ways you've been fixated on the wrong family. Like this is actually kind of interesting, especially for those of you who've been married and especially those of you who've been divorced. But we do the Ace of Wands, Star, and the Four of Pentacles. Like I do kind of feel like the divide is right here as you're learning to anchor into your physical, feral frequency. Like there's a Hannibal Lecter joke somewhere in there. Dear God, who's part of the Donner Party? I think I met someone who's an ancestor of the Donner Party. I remember she was asking me, can my ancestors tell me anything about myself? I'm kind of curious. And I'm like, your ancestors are not ready to talk about that. So it's quite incredible what kind of shit we bring with us through our genetics. But you're being a curse breaker. There's something about you really tapping into your own sacred sexual energy. And for those of you who enjoy reading, I do recommend I believe it's called the Magdalene manuscripts. And there's some beautiful channeled stories about Mary's relationship to Yeshua and the role that she played in preparing Jesus for his ultimate sacrifice and her life afterwards, but also a lot of the techniques that she learned to understand sex magic, the sex magic of Isis, because that's where I see this snake that is crawling up the divine feminine's belly in through this, not just the sacral chakra, but up through the solar plexus into the heart. If you're called to check that out, I do highly recommend that book to help initiate you through this so that you can have the healthiest way to properly activate your sacral energy, because you need to start keeping your energy to yourself and give it to nobody. I mean, nobody. Even if those of you who believe that you're going to be reunited with a twin flame counterpart, you need to have your energy so locked up inside of you that not even your own counterpart could take it from you. And this is part of your healing, and this is part of their healing, because they're going to have nowhere to go. If you do have a counterpart that is working in tandem with you, they're going to have nowhere to go except to connect to their own feminine self. Locking your energy down is important, regardless of whoever it is that you're going to be encountering, because you need to start manifesting for yourself. Because a lot of you have been stuck pinching pennies, worried that you're not going to have enough. And it's because you've been around and serving a master that is cheap. Like, this is someone, even though they might treat you out, take you to the nicest hotels and take you on the most amazing lavish trips, they are so fucking cheap. And you're being asked to detach yourself from people that have lack mindset. People who would take your energy, think that you're not enough, and then they would start piling more onto you and start piling more energy and more people into the situation just to fulfill their lack mentality. You've been giving to a black hole, and you're being asked to take a step back. Get curious about what it is you want to do next. This is your journey. You've allowed other people to dictate who it is that you should be, where it is that you should go, and you're being asked to take control of this situation. Wow. Okay. I think that's the message. That was pretty intense. So I'm going to leave it here. If you guys need any private readings to dig deeper into this particular message or need some energetic healing, I do provide services. You are more than welcome to go to the description below to get details on that. Otherwise, when I see you guys at the next one, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries.